In this video, I'm going to take you to a tour of the infamous Mob Museum here in downtown Las Vegas, next on Jaycation. Hey, what's up, Jaycationers? Welcome back to another video here in the Las Vegas series. And in today's video, we're gonna be going through the infamous Mob Museum here in downtown Las Vegas. It is the National Museum of Organized Crime and Law Enforcement. So not only do you get to hear about the history of the mob from Vegas to Chicago to New York and all over the United States, but you also get to see stuff about law enforcement, a lot of interesting facts on the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, and it's about 4 or 5 different floors. They even have a prohibition bar, which we're gonna check out. It was such a good video that originally I was just gonna make this a segment of a video, but we had to make it a complete tour. So I'm excited to show you guys the Mob Museum. Let's flash back to me a couple months ago to when I visited.
Flashback.
We got a Jaycation first here in Vegas. I've always wanted to go to the Mob Museum, and we're finally gonna go inside, tour around the spot a little bit, maybe look for some former mobsters and grab a little drink. Because the Mob Museum has a lot of information about the Prohibition era here in Vegas and how we got to 2025 to where we can drink on the streets here on Fremont Street and around the Las Vegas Strip. So let's go inside the Mob Museum and check it out. I'll give you the pricing details and all the cool information in there. The National Museum of Organized Crime and Law Enforcement. Here we are. Let's step back into the 1920s of Las Vegas. They even got the signage here on the ground, look. General admission is $34.95, but they do have deluxe and premier passes for $49.95 and $56.95. Filming in progress is probably because of a guy with a media pass here. Well, this guy right here. This used to be an actual courthouse and a post office. And check this out. The Mob Museum building was the first U.S. post office and courthouse in Las Vegas. On November 15th, 1950, the Kefauver Committee conducted a hearing in the courtroom as part of its investigation of organized crime in America. So there's 2 days that are free for locals. Day one is November 15, and the other day is Valentine's Day, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. So they do have a lot of souvenirs here in the souvenir shop. Look at this, forget about it. And you can also get your Mob Museum souvenirs. You also got some Pulp Fiction here. Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson. You can do these extra activities here, like rules of engagement, where you're law enforcement and you have a fake gun and you're trying to figure out if a certain person is a bad guy or a good guy. It's pretty cool. You just go through these 3 rooms and it's almost like you're in a real life situation as a police officer. I got some B-roll on it. Check it out.
4 more. Now 5 more fast as you can. Tell them drop it. Shoot! Good job. All right, now where's the... Wash your hands. Wash your hands, Rick. Good job. Holster up. You did great. Come on in.
Another extra thing you can do is go to the crime lab, and they have activities like a real CSI crime lab here. And you can get tickets. There's just so many displays of all the historical facts about the mobsters. They have the 100 years of made men and their associates. Look at that. Check out the mugshot photo. So this is the lineup thing right here. And look, it's mirrored, pretty trippy. So you could get your mugshot over here. Petrosino, the Italian Sherlock Holmes. Elementary, my dear Watsonelli. Check this out. This is a wiretap kit from 1912 and 1917. This is cool. I like all these old school file shelves that you don't see much anymore because we all have computers nowadays. This area is called the Arizona Club, and it talks about all the mob dealings around Arizona and Nevada. And then they also talk about the Prohibition era and all that good stuff here.
The St. Valentine's Day Massacre was just beginning.
It's not our fault. They are put there by the second owner, and we are the third.
The St. Valentine's Day Massacre was the event that first brought to the Midwest the
use of ballistics to the scientific and
So that is a real piece of the St. Valentine's Massacre wall, and they brought it here to the Mob Museum, and they have these effects to show you exactly the blood marks and the bullet holes of those bricks. And another fun fact, February 14th, locals get in free. If you're a local, February 14th, you get in free. Check this out. You have Target Al Capone and Luciano and Lepke, all mob members right here. Organized crime also took over the sporting life to fix events and stuff and gamble. So sports gaming in the mob was actually pretty big. And now, look at that. We have FanDuel and all these sports books around Vegas. It's all over the place nowadays. So that was the third floor that we started off at with the St. Valentine's Massacre wall. Now we're going to the second floor where they talk about the mob on the rise, and they have the historic courtroom, and there's also concessions over on that floor. And then the first floor is the mob on the run, where we showed the crime lab, the use of force exhibition, and the firearm training simulator. And then downstairs is the Speakeasy, where you have to give the code. So here is the old courtroom, and this is where the Kiffover hearings were at, and it's called America Fights Back, and they do have a show every few minutes to where they show the history of what happened in here. It's crazy reading the story about the Flamingo and how it was really the first big casino and resort hotel on the modern day Las Vegas Strip. Benjamin Bugsy Siegel, he's got a whole plaque over at the Flamingo and a lot of restaurants named after him, like Bugsy and Myers. He originally didn't own it. He was working with a guy named Billy Wilkerson, who was a businessman. Eventually he got Billy Wilkerson kicked out, and Bugsy Siegel, who was the point man in Las Vegas for the New York mob, ended up taking full control, and in 1946 the Flamingo was made. That's crazy. Wow. And there's some checks and stuff by some historical things and Bugsy's actual sunglasses. And there it is. This is the release of all demands from Bugsy Siegel to take control of the Flamingo. And his name is still there until this day. Wow. He just stayed at the Flamingo 3 weeks ago. This is a slot machine from 1950 from the original Flamingo.
So my name is Frank Keller Jr. I was born into the Chicago mob. I'm here at the museum for a residency for 2024 and 2025 to speak. The reason I wanted to be at the museum is because it's half law enforcement and it's half organized crime. The mission statement here is to better educate the general public on the effects of organized crime. Most people don't know it's too late. My story is kind of similar to the series Sopranos. My story, I'm going to tell you about the underbelly of this life, how this life affects the rest of your family that are not involved. I'm here to also talk at the museum because I bring everything here to life. And that's what the people love. My story is a father-son Shakespearean tragedy about how I had to go against my own father for survival. Turned into the biggest mob case in Chicago's history in 2007, Operation Family Secrets.
And you do have a New York Times best-selling book right there, right? That you can pick up.
It's a New York Times bestseller. Even though it says Chicago's murderous crime family, it really is a family story, and that's what I'm going to talk about. How this life can change you and how it affected our whole family.
So if you want to come over here to the Mob Museum, make sure you say hi to him. You're here
Wednesdays through Sundays, 11 a.m. is the first one, and the last one's at 4. If you check the mobmuseum.org website, it'll also give if I'm here for special days, special events. In April, I'm bringing my ex-wife in, and we're gonna be speaking in the courtroom. She's gonna talk about how this life affects the rest of the family.
What are some interesting things in the museum that you didn't even know about until you maybe just perused around?
Well, there's a lot of history here, and what I like about it is it gives you a little bit of everything. I love the CSI lab. I love the gun range, the speakeasy in the basement, the distillery. They actually make their own liquor here. So it's really cool. And there's so much history that the museum has in archives still because they don't have the room yet. We're talking about expanding onto the museum and bringing it all in. Yeah, there's a lot of great things.
And do you live here, or do you fly from Chicago?
No, I actually live in Arizona, but I'm renting out here for this 2-year residency.
Nice. So outside of the Mob Museum, what's your favorite thing about Vegas?
People watching. Okay, fortunate for me, I got rid of all my vices over the years, so I'm in bed by 9 at night, up at 5 in the morning, but I love people watching. There's so much diversity here, there's so much you can do if you don't gamble or you don't drink.
This is an interesting town. It's always alive. Well, I appreciate your time. Come see him here at the Mob Museum.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you. Yes, looking forward to it.
That was really cool talking to Frank. He has a lot of information about his family being in the mob and his father. Wow, father-son tragedy. And he was also saying that the movie Casino, Joe Pesci's character has ties to his family in the movie Casino. Interesting. There's Sharon Stone in the movie Casino right there. We're gonna be eating at Oscars, where they film scenes from the movie Casino. Down in the basement is the underground speakeasy and distillery. So now if you do have a ticket to the Mob Museum, you could just come down here. But if you just want to go to the speakeasy and use the password, you have to go through that back door where we gave the Flyboy password and entered. But this is the front museum way to check it out. And they also have tours where you could try Moonshine, and they tell you about prohibition here in Las Vegas in the 1910s, 1920s. Here's the Speakeasy. Speakeasies thrived during the Prohibition era. The Prohibition saloons were primarily for men, but after the 18th Amendment took effect in 1920, underground saloons known as speakeasies sprouted by the thousands, and men and women drank as equals. Speakeasies were the beating heart of the Roaring 20s, a time of dramatic cultural change. The mob ran many speakeasies as well as the rum running and bootlegging operations that supplied the booze. So they had their hands in all of it. It's really busy down over here, especially at the bar. And then in the back room, they have a secret private area. It looks like it's a huge frame, but it's actually a secret room in the secret speakeasy. There's even a doppelgangster app that you can see your doppelganger gangsta.
The second one, don't give up on me, keep going. Corn, water, and enzymes, that's it. 3 things, we're gonna cook it down on this cooker over here. Once we've got it, head to the part where the chemicals sit, we take it, we chuck it. Then we have 3 safe and drinkable parts. I love this. Okay,
A little moonshine
if you don't
right
like
here.
it, that's fine. But you failed all the prohibition drinking. Because this is the bougie stuff. Prohibition's best day quality-wise is going to be at least 10 times worse than what you just put down. That's me being nice. Proof-wise, this is only 100. Prohibition.
This is 100
you're looking
proof.
80 plus on the
Moonshine right here.
So, I'm gonna get there, sir, but don't ruin my tour. There's no real good stuff during Prohibition. Good stuff, it's a long time. And that's why people wake up one day and say, let's make alcohol. This is first run, but do that still one time. I don't think you need to know anything about making moonshine to look at this jar and realize that you might not be done yet. It doesn't look great. The floaties don't look good, but the floaties won't hurt you. The clear stuff though, that will hurt you. So we've got acetone, acetate, methanol in here. Now acetone, acetate are great for nail polish remover, paint stripper.
This is the Ginger Jake Moonshine, the second for the distillery tasting.
Delightful. Now, if this
It's
doesn't
got
work,
ginger jalapeno in it.
if you're still
Pretty good.
looking for more, you had more options. They're not great options, but they're options.
Drink 3 is the
That's
fuzz.
your tour. But you're here during the holidays, and we have a bonus round. So, on your way out of this room, you get the chance to try one of our 2 holiday flavors. Number 1.
Holiday
Goodfellas
flavors?
Vanilla.
If you want to go to the basement speakeasy, it's right down these steps. Knock on the door and they will ask you for your passcode. We went into it with my friend earlier. Check it out.
What do you want? Flyboy. You're not a puff, are you? No.
All right, welcome in.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So if you guys want to get in, you just look at their Instagram. I'll list it down below. And this week's password is Flyboy. So I used to watch Breaking Bad, and look at this. Walter White's last ride, opportunity is knocking. What? That's the car that he rode in? Wow, so the Mob Museum was a lot more than I expected. I thought the Mob Museum was just gonna be a bunch of different displays and a few cool tidbits about it, but it's more than that. It's history of Las Vegas. It's a former courtroom. It's a former post office. They even have Frank here talking about his family and the mob ties that he has. Really cool speakeasy. They have that distillery tour. They talk about prohibition and how people were making alcohol when prohibition hit. We tried 4 different moonshines in there, which was awesome. And that speakeasy downstairs, make sure you follow their Instagram. You'll get their code from their Instagram stories. They post a new code every week. So if you just want to go there, you don't have to pay admission to the Mob Museum. You can actually go to the back down those stairs and then knock on there, and then somebody will ask you for your passcode. But make sure it's open. It's not open 24 hours. But Mob Museum, awesome. Definitely recommend it here in downtown Vegas.
End of flashback.
That was an educational time over at the Mob Museum. That was really cool. Special shout out to my friend Sean for showing me around. Wow, that moonshine got me going. But yes, like I said, I thought this video was so good that it had to shine on its own. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy videos like this of the Mob Museum or any other museums around Las Vegas, I love doing it. Like that tour around the Arts District, I had a lot of fun. And if you want to see anything else here in downtown Las Vegas, just comment down below. Check out Las Vegas 777. Let's go, my Facebook group. We have over 5,000 Las Vegas lovers talking about the newest news and ongoings around town. Until the next video, Jaycationers, stay traveling Las Vegas. Let's go.